What's up, everybody? My name is Philip Robinson, and with me I have Truly Tony Bang and I have Cade Morehouse, and this is the Combat Lounge. If you never heard about the Combat Lounge, that's cool. This is the chillest spot to sit down and talk about the fight game. So we bring you MMA, we bring you boxing, we might even bring you bare knuckle fighting championships. If you're getting down with the fist, the Combat Lounge is all about it. So without further ado, let's start the show.
Now fires back. Oh, there's Fury with the right hand. Wilder's hurt. Wilder's hurt. He wildly almost fell into the ropes. He is close to going out.
Hey, Tony, welcome to the Combat Lounge, fellas. We finally got this off and cracking. All the planning has finally come to fruition. Let's make it happen. Got beers, we got the velvet couch, good company, and we got a special guest coming on a little bit later. When he pulls up, we'll bring him on the air. We have Jeremiah the Dreamland Milton. But while we wait for him, let's get into some of the fights that went down this weekend. Now, we did a show about UFC yesterday, so we don't need to recap that. But the Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk fight was yesterday as well. And Usyk won off of it was split decision or unanimous?
Split decision.
Yeah.
Was it split? Split decision.
I think it was a split decision.
Split decision. The first card came back for Anthony. The last two came back for Usyk.
That's what I thought. I wasn't 100% sure. But
yeah, I don't know what that first judge was watching because I don't think Anthony Joshua won that fight. Not even close. He didn't put out enough output, in my opinion. Now Usyk was way more busy.
Way more busy, way more skilled, sharper with the striking, more free to let his hands go. The slips, the feints, the defense was immaculate. It's probably one of the better defensive fights that I've seen in a while, or really fought by anybody who wasn't Floyd.
Yeah, I saw biggest thing I want to give credit to Usyk for is adjusting to Anthony's adjustment. Anthony seemed to kind of figure out for a moment that he didn't want to really trade with him in an exchange. So he had decided to basically try to absorb it by blocking some shots and then coming with his own counter when the opening was there. And that was successful for about a round and a half, and then Usyk just picked up his volume on his punches, and Anthony couldn't find those openings anymore. One thing about Joshua is, and this is a thing that has been said in a lot of circles, in boxing circles, talks. It's just that killer instinct, that I got to have it mentality. He will shy away from when the guns are going off, the guns are blazing. He's looking for somewhere to hide a little bit at times. He'll fight you off of him more than try to hurt you. And it's not it's not a thing that it's not that he doesn't possess the ability to perform better under those conditions. It's a mental thing. And
He
as we've seen it,
absolutely has. Yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead, finish.
and as we've seen at the end, and as we've seen at the end with the results, as we've seen at the end with the results, he really, got really emotional. And part of me is trying to wants to hope for the best for him, but at the same time, it seems like he doesn't have any answers, and that's what really, really upset him is that he really felt like he did all he can do, and when you exhaust when you exhaust those kind of measures, when you exhaust every measure you think of, and it's not successful, you're in this place in your head like Alex Leatherwood or something like that.
I mean, did he really?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, did he really do all he can do though? Because I really felt watching that fight with Phil that he really didn't. He was completely non-existent in some rounds. He wasn't busy. Usyk was bit. I mean, I think Anthony Joshua put more output out in the later rounds than anything, but more off counter punching though. Usyk was hitting him with anything. The jab. I mean, his hands were always moving. His head movement was there. He was constantly moving.
Right. That's and that's what I was saying when Joshua thought he found something, which started to work. All Usyk did was just up his volume of punches, and that ultimately smothered Joshua, and also made it hard for him to find those openings that he had found for a moment.
Where's Joshua from?
England.
What specific part of England? It doesn't matter.
You know what? I'm not sure. I don't think he's Jamaican. I don't think he's one of those Jamaican English.
Jamaican English? No, I don't either. And I
What's
really
up,
think
E?
that he's from the nice part of England because that man got no dog in him. No
Right.
dog at all.
And people talk about this humble, right? People, they want these warriors to be humble. Well, that's you could be over humble. You could be overly humble, and to the point where it's a detriment to your killer instinct.
Looks like he was from Watford.
Watford, England.
We're starting to see the built like Tarzan, fight like Jane a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We are starting to see that. It was apparent in the Ruiz fight, and really he won the rematch. But if Andy Ruiz came in anything like himself, it could have been a different story.
Listen, the powers that be came to Andy Ruiz and told him, "Listen, bruh, you got this belt for a couple months. You know you wasn't supposed to get this." Said how Anthony Joshua let you come in here and whoop his ass is beyond all of us, but it's just one more thing to just really have you looking and scratching your head. See,
Zerto on people, okay.
This is boxing and MMA to the same extent. I try not to talk bad about guys who are getting in the cage, getting in the ring, and who are fighting, because I'm gonna be real. I'm not going in there to fight these men. You look at these guys, them dudes is big. Them dudes is angry. Them dudes are professional killers. So they can't fight regular people on the street because they'll kill them. But you look at Anthony Joshua, and I look at him, and I look at his size, and the size is intimidating. But for as long as he stands in front of you and does not throw, so you give your opponent confidence. You give your opponent time to think. You give your opponent time to go through a bunch of different scenarios. And that's what Alexander Usyk did. And picked him apart. He lost the first 2 rounds and then won the next 4 or 5.
That's correct.
Wow.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think no,
that's
I think
absolutely
Anthony.
correct.
What were you saying, Tone?
I was saying that's absolutely correct. In that towards the end of the first and in the second round, that's when Joshua thought he figured it out. He said, I can parry these shots, right? And then when he's finished with that combination, I can land mines. And it worked for a little bit. And then Houston said, okay, I'm just gonna double my output. Then I'm gonna triple my output. And then you're just not gonna have you're just not gonna have an opportunity to get in. I just want to drop this breaking news. Thank you, J.A. Raider, for dropping that. Zerto and Beevil confirmed for November 5th for the strap, WBA strap that Canelo tried to steal. Yeah, I said it. Canelo tried to steal that belt, but that's gonna be a great fight. Do I have to go in? Okay, so yeah, let's go back to that. We'll get into that another time. Short on time, but yeah. So also on that card, I wanted to point out because it is relevant to our guests, and that is FA, Jeremiah's sparring partner, who he was working with to get ready for the event that was canceled on the Jake Paul card. He won in great fashion that night. And I will also bring in another tidbit note about FA and how that's related to Jeremiah's next fight next Saturday.
No, that's cool. You got something to add to that, Kate?
No, I was just going back to just the Joshua fight. So you were talking about how he was taking those punches and then coming back at the counter. All I was gonna say is when you fight like that, you got to know that you're already putting yourself down on the scorecards, because why counterpunching is a it's an aspect of every fighting, mixed martial arts, boxing, whatever. But when you fight like that, and you're taking 4 or 5 punches to your one counter punch, if you don't knock them out or get the finish, you just got hit 5 times before you got your one punch. So, and that's what Joshua was doing, and that's why Usyk beat him. He had the perfect strategy to beat him, because he would take that one counter punch Joshua threw. I think Joshua had him hurt a couple times, but in the later rounds. But I mean, overall, he was getting hit 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, and those punches started to land in the later rounds when he added more output to his punches, when he started throwing more punches. Early, Joshua had confidence because he was actually parrying him. He was actually knocking him down. He was catching him on the gloves, and after the third one, he had his opening. And like I said, but then you pick up your volume, and it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you can't find. And he couldn't find an opening for that strategy. Here's something, and it's a good thing. Thank you for mentioning that, Kay, because it made me think about something. Anthony Joshua doesn't have no power.
Press, no power. Well, I'm not gonna say
hurt
that
him. He's hurt him. He hurt him.
His problem is not that he doesn't have any power; it's that he doesn't throw, and he don't throw combinations, and he doesn't throw enough to hurt somebody. When you think of somebody when you think there's only really truly a couple guys in the history of boxing who are capable of winning fights throwing one punch at a time. Even Mike Tyson threw combos.
Absolutely. But the thing was, he doesn't throw. He doesn't have bad intentions.
No,
he's not throwing it with bad intentions. Yeah, he could have pressured him, but remember what happened to Anthony Joshua when Ruiz, when they fought on the inside. When they fought on the inside, he was like a panda. I mean, like a tiger. I mean, he was just blitzing him. So Joshua, I don't think Joshua even wants any smoke on the inside whatsoever.
That's a pace that he it's a couple things. It's a couple things, and before we go to questioning somebody's manhood, which I already did, but it's pace. He can't keep up with guys who outwork him. Now, for every professional tell you, oh, you're not going to be the biggest, you're not going to be the strongest, you're not going to be fastest. But what you aren't going to do is allow somebody to outwork you. He was perfectly okay with being outworked. Said, and the truth be told, he thought that I'll go there. Anthony Joshua thought he was going to pull a Leon Edwards, and he was just going to cruise along, then catch him with that one punch and win the fight.
And you know what? He's actually a victim of his own success because he's been able to put away guys in that fashion. And now that the competition has gotten stiffer, and Usyk, like you said, and like Kay said, Joshua had moments where he staggered him. I don't even call it hurt him. He staggered him. And Usyk was like, okay, whatever. Let's get back to it. You know, Usyk did not back up. He didn't try to get out of the way. He didn't look for safety. He shook it off and went back in the fire because he knew that he could outwork Joshua on the inside. Joshua tried to keep the fight on the outside and as much as he could. But then here comes the punch volume that I keep talking about, where 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not 1, 2, and then he's sitting back waiting to see what Joshua going to do. It's almost as if Usyk watched Ruiz's fight and was just like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do to him. I'm just gonna throw a barrage of punches, and he can't do nothing about it.
Nope.
But again, Anthony Joshua I am disappointed in his power. I am disappointed in his power. I don't know how he's going to fix it.
So as a professional fighter, as a boxer, and I would have to believe that if you were able to take punches and recover at a normal speed, that if you know what I'm saying, in a normal exchange where you give up 5 punches, you take 5 punches, or have to dodge 3 and get hit by 2, any combination of that. But it's a period of work. Anthony Joshua he cannot hang. He doesn't like to fight at pace. He's shown an inability to do it. He's been frustrated. He's been knocked out. He cannot fight at pace. If you don't stand in front of him and let him hit you, you're going to win that fight.
We saw a Chihuahua in a Rottweiler body.
You saw a Labradoodle fighting a little German Shepherd. Something. I don't know.
Any fighter that stays busy against Anthony Joshua is most likely going to take him in that heavyweight division, because I wouldn't say that he doesn't have any power. I think he just doesn't know how to set it up to use his power. He's trying to put all his power into one shot, but in boxing, the best way to get your best shot off is to use your combinations. Work the body. Our guest is very, very good at that. That's just something. Joshua was working the body against Usyk and stuff like that too, but he just wasn't busy enough for me. Usyk was way more busy than him. Like I said, he was constantly applying pressure.
He didn't throw. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. He didn't throw with bad intentions. And here's the evidence of it. Here's the proof of that. Usyk did not feel like he needed to. Usyk jumped back in the fire. You know what I'm saying? Like he got hit, but he never respected what could come from Joshua. He never respected it. It's just like what Mike Tyson says, everybody got a plan till they get hit. Usyk got hit and was like, not so bad. Not so bad.
Again, it's hard to evaluate a fighter's fighting ability when he's throwing one punch at a time. I mean, there's nothing. You're not looking for secondary shots, and I got to imagine that after about the first round or two, when it's become very obvious that all you're going to see.
Ooh. You know what Anthony Joshua needs to do, Egalitarian? You know what he needs to do? He needs to do what Rocky did in the third one, in the third Rocky. He's got to go to the hood. He's got to go get some grinding.
Yep.
I don't know. I can't sit here and say I know what the training camp looks like for him. But there's this intensity disconnect from his game. I mean, when they gave the results of the fight and Usyk won, that was the most angry I've seen him the whole time. That was the most demonstrative emotion that I've seen him do the whole fight.
I can't be mad at I can't sit here and say that I don't respect Joshua, because any man that can sit there for 12 rounds and get punched in the face at all rounds and still be alive at the end of the 12th round. I mean, hey man, hats off to you, but your strategy is just not working. And I think he just needs to ultimately, like one of our viewers said, I think he just needs to take some time off, get his mind right, spend some time with the family, and get back to the drawing board.
No, see, all that's comfort. That's a comfort zone for him.
I'm going to take it in a different way. If I might for just a second, Tony, let me drop this, and then you can pick up both of this and see what you think, if I may be for just a moment. It's time to fire his corner. He needs a new trainer. He needs
a new trainer.
What's that?
He was with a new trainer. He was Robert Garcia.
Oh, he probably needs to go back. Because if your trainer is preparing you to fight like this and you're throwing one punches at a time, your trainer's not going to win you any fights.
He might be the problem. Because he was with his old trainer when he lost the first fight. New trainer loses the second fight.
I get staying active is good for fighters, but I at the same time think at some point for a guy like Anthony Joshua and his last two fights, he does need to. I think he needs to go take some time off and reflect on some things. I know staying active is a positive thing, but I mean I've seen it with guys even in MMA. I mean they'll go in on a 2-3 fight skid and then we don't see them for a year and then they come back after that year and they're a completely different fighter because they took some time to themselves. Just as important as it is to stay active, it is important to take some time to yourself and get your mind right. Because if your mind isn't right going into what you're going into, it don't matter what skill you have.
Okay, he's going to be on in 5.
And he absolutely does need to get his mind right because that was apparent. That was obvious from the start, and all the smiling and all this other shit. I'm like, dude, you're losing.
That's why he needs to change his whole environment. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Don't go home. Don't be with the family. Don't be in your comfort zone. You need to be uncomfortable.
In the slums.
Yeah, you need to be uncomfortable.
Starving, not eating well, fighting for scraps. The shit that you were doing when you got into boxing, when you had that hunger, that fire, and that desire to go out there and beat the guy in front of you until he falls down and the ref raises your hand in victory.
Right. You put Nate Diaz in him, and it's a completely different thing.
You put Nate Diaz sized dog in Anthony Joshua, and you got a champion.
Again,
That is the you know what we should call this man the Black Tin Man. All he needs is a heart.
ooh, I like it. I like it.
It's like the same thing for not the same exact thing because they're two completely different human beings, but just like everyone's saying that this rematch for Kamaru with Leon's going to happen soon. Kamaru has fought 7 times in 3 years. He has stayed active as a champion, and he just took the most brutal loss of his career. I don't think he's coming back as soon as everyone thinks. This rematch will be on Kamaru Usman's own time, in my opinion, respectfully. I don't think that if he wants to come back and fight in February or March, he can do it. But we might not see this title fight till the middle of next year. Or later.
Well,
Because this is just how it is. He needs some time off, I think.
I mean, yeah. But the time off has to be because he's going on vacation. Let's not think that Anthony Joshua doesn't go somewhere to clear his head. It's a you need to rub some sandpaper on it. You know what I mean? Like there's again that dog that's just not he can't tap into it right now. I don't know what trainer can pull it out of him. I mean, you can have Terry Atlas. Terry Atlas. Remember how he was yelling at oh my God, who was he yelling at? Oh God, he had Floyd. Me believing I can run through a wall.
Floyd.
No, it wasn't Floyd. It was shoot, man. It was he was getting into the gatekeeper mode, but he had one last shot. And I don't want to say it was Porter, but somebody of that ilk. But anyway,
real quick,
it's up here. It's up here with Joshua. It's up here.
Okay. So, without further ado, our special guest of the honor, Jeremiah the Dreamland Milton. There we go.
Hey,
what's happening?
Let's go.
How you doing?
All right. Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you for coming, man. I just wanted to let everybody know, Jeremiah, man. I met him at the Teofimo fight, and I just had the courage. I said, I'm just gonna speak. I'm just gonna talk. I introduced myself, and he treated me with such professionalism. We're new into this game, and I immediately felt like a professional. I want to thank you for that, and thank you for coming.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Tony, shoot, my day kind of got away from me a little bit, man. So I apologize for being late, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, looking forward to doing the interview, man, and being on the pod with you guys.
Yeah, and yeah, don't worry. We know you got business up next Saturday at home with Mr. Nick Jones.
Yeah, man. The closer I get to the fight, man, the more like tunnel vision I end up getting, man. My whole mind will get like, you know what I'm saying, just there.
Right. All right, so I want to kind of start with the Dreamland. I know that's the nickname, but it's when I see it, it seems more like a movement or a mindset. Can you kind of give us the background of Dreamland?
No doubt. You know what? That's exactly what it is, man. You know, it's so many things, especially to me, like outside of just being my persona, or something significant in my city, Dreamland Theater, Black Wall Street, and Tulsa. So with the people was a place to gather, you know, to be entertained. And so, you know, it fits me in ways, you know. It is a movement, yeah, you know, and like creating like this reality around you. You know, why you send dudes to Dreamland, you know, I'm a knockout type of guy, knockout artist, I say so myself. But yeah, Dreamland, man, it encompasses a lot. It really does. You know, Black Wall Street, That time, like I said, gather and they watch those shows at that um the Williams Dreamland Theater. You know, you just go there and you can go like watch your favorite artist or movie or whatever you there to see. And I feel like it's a time to like come together and celebrate and also keep pushing your dreams.
That's interesting. Because yeah, like it's here on the West Coast. I grew up in California. Some of us grew up in California. Kate grew up on the West Coast as well, and we have like this access to all these, movie star, all these different things. And uh, being from Tulsa, T Town, I heard that's that's how it goes down, T Town. Um,
Did your
a
research?
lot of you guys' influences are historical, more historical than per se some of us that are on uh, parts of the country where it's a lot of entertainment and it's coming. The entertainment comes to us, and we kind of gravitate towards the entertainment. But you gravitated towards historical things.
Yeah, uh, Tulsa, Black Wall Street, the whole story behind that before the bomb and everything. It had so many black businesses, over 100 black businesses, and schools, doctors, whatever it was all out there. You see a lot of once that happened, everybody dispersed. They went to Atlanta, Dallas, Texas and stuff. So like the culture, the movement kind of spread. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of influence. You might come from California, like, whoa, I see some things similar, similarities, little ones like that whole West Coast style, which my family we was raised out there in Richmond for a bit. I'm born in
Oh,
Tulsa. Yeah,
okay,
yeah. I mean,
okay.
I got family. I've been out through Cali a couple times. Especially now my professional career. But yeah, you'll see a lot of those influences, man. Like you think about like the Gap Band music. What I'm saying, that art scene that kind of spread from like Midwest different areas. But like it's all kinds of ways, man. It's always a great time.
Entrepreneur spirit. Yeah, entrepreneur spirit. And I know that another thing that's very important to you is uh, getting back to building back to the city. Um, I know that's very important. I mean, and a lot of people leave where they're from when it's not one of those more popular areas, and they start to claim where they're at. And they kind of. But putting Tulsa on your back, and that's what's up.
Yeah, I
That's what's up.
appreciate that. I
Um,
think the important part is to make sure that the next generation, even though sometimes you gotta step outside of your lane. Like I say, Vegas is a spot to be boxing. Everybody's here. This is where moves are made in the realm of boxing. But like, it's always important to rep where you come, especially the people like that may not. It's cool to see people finding their own little ways out now. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing like my city grow in different ways. A lot of people, I'm inspiring, to pick up boxing level. But like, yeah, it's good to like, show like, hey, yo, you know, if you think about West Coast, place like that, look, yo, y'all ride for y'all city, y'all state. Uh, that's what people need to do. Like, I didn't want.
okay, I want to get this quote out, and then I'm gonna let my colleagues slide in here and ask some things. You said I never been one to choose the hype over the grind. When things change, that's when you lock in and focus on the work that needs to be done.
Facts, facts.
And you're saying this early in your career. You know what I mean? You understand this now, and that's a great foundation to have. Like, what's that influence? Is that family? Is that wisdom that you just acquired over time?
Yeah, I would say it's a mix of both. I mean, definitely. Oh, it's funny. Like I watched my brothers, man. I mean, no knock to them or anything like that, but my family, like, they've always had like amazing amount of energy, but like they channel into the wrong thing. So like, whether that be like gang banging, doing whatever they do. So like for me, I'm like, man, if I channel my energy, like this energy that I'm putting out, I put it into one thing, and that's just been boxing. You know what I'm saying? I push so hard, you know what I'm saying? It just starts to shape things around me. But you know what? Like when you come back to that quote, I remember that. I remember saying that. And I mean, that's me taking life in perspective. I'm looking at things. I've been tempted with a lot of different opportunities that would make me look good in front of the camera. People, oh yo, look at Jeremiah, look what he's doing. But would I really be the product? And would I really be the goods? You know what I'm saying? You put a lot of things underneath the light and find out, and it ain't really glittering like diamond do. So um, my thing is like, yeah, a lot of people they quote unquote, you gotta fake it some till you make it, but don't be fake.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? So what are some? I got a question for you. What are some things that you like to do outside of boxing? Like what is Jeremiah Milton, like to do outside of what he loves to do? I guess.
Yo, for sure. I mean, funny thing about it is I grew up, always fishing and outdoors. That's kind of like if I ever said I have that would have been fine, but I ain't been fishing for long. When I went back home recently. Mine was cool. But no, it's just about I'm gonna go with the vibe type of dude. So like, really, my day just kind of takes me. I find different things I get involved in. You know, I like games, but I don't usually have time to play games. They'll consume your life. So I be trying to stay away from the video game. I get wrapped in like the next person. Um, but I'm about having fun, man. I like to go try different foods out, different restaurants. I mean, Vegas has a lot of different things out here. So
Oh man. Oh, I'm here
yeah,
too, brothers.
yeah, yeah, you can always kind of find something, man. So there's a lot of different things I'm gonna be checking out soon. But yeah, man, I'm about it. Like I'm unique in my way of just finding things. I find a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Nice. My last question for you is you're a very talented fighter. You impressed me when I watched your fights. By the way, you got some of the best body work. Then coming up top, it's beautiful work, man. But where do you see yourself? Where do you see your career in the next 3 to 5 years?
I'm knocking on the door, man. I'm gonna continue to like, get my name out there into people's houses, you know what I'm saying, within the next year. Even. And then I wanna be ranked in that top 10, maybe, what I'm saying, 3 to 5 years. That's a pretty good gap. So like I expect to be challenging for something, what I'm saying, scrap. You know, making my presence felt and then, being a fat there in the division, Still
Yeah.
undefeated, still doing my thing. Uh but yeah, we just gonna keep rocking how we rock, and it's one fight at a time. Every fight is the most important fight, of course. But yeah, I'm gonna be somebody to be known in the division.
Right on, right on. So, who got you into boxing? I know that you wanted to put your energy, all the energy that you have into doing something positive, into something that'll be worthwhile and actually pay off for you, in something other than a pine box or behind bars. But everybody's got a favorite boxer. Who was yours?
Oh man, you know what? I'm looking at them greats behind you right there, man. Sonny Liston, Muhammad Ali. Of course, them dudes. You got Mike in the background. Yeah, everybody. There's so many different characters in boxing. Yeah, sugar. I see them. There's so many different characters. It's like you can like really just pick, and you could be like, oh man, I like this person's story. I like that person's story. I mean, if I had to go with my favorite boxers, of course, I'm gonna say like Lennox. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad Ali is so much bigger than boxing, so he sits in his own prospect. But Thomas Hearns. You know what I'm saying? But like, what got me started was actually like my teacher, my high school teacher, gave me some gloves and was like, man, yo, you a big kid, because I was out there in the neighborhood and like I was kind of like trying to figure my way out. And he said, man, why don't you just put these on and like learn something. People ain't gonna run up on you. And then that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? It started out as these little Friday night scraps we'd have out in my apartments, and that gave me the spark. But I mean, yeah, I was tearing up dudes, man. I was 15 years old, tearing up 23-year-olds, 24-year-olds. Um, but I never actually decided to do it until after college football. I was like, yo, why don't I just go back and give it a shot?
That's. I feel like that's what you call dog training, getting that dog in you.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
ain't
no
got,
doubt.
yeah. When you ain't got when it's not everything so set up and organized, and it's just it's hard against the other person.
Yeah, and that's what you find out early on if you really, people ask me, oh, yo, because, it's funny, like 5 years I've been boxing, going on 6 total. So, like, 3 years amateur, 2 years as a pro. And I've accomplished a lot in a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I've been around the sport, but, like, not in a sense to where it was ever, like, something I was really doing. But when you apply yourself, you got to ask yourself a couple questions, man. It's like, yo, can I fight? And that means like not only like can you box, but can you really fight? Like, and fight don't mean you just beating up everybody. It means like, yo, when shit go bad, am I gonna stick it out or what am I gonna do? It was plenty of
Mhm.
times like, saying you on the receiving end in the beginning of your learning process, you know. But you got to make them strides, So you got to learn. You got to like start learning fast. A guy who I see learning fast right now in the pros, Nico Ali Walsh. That boy is
Woo.
he's what I'm saying. He's learning fast. He's
And
getting so
and
much
and
better.
yeah, and he has a different target on his back
Oh
because
yeah,
of his name, alone. And there's I spoke with his dad, and I kind of got a backstory on that. The fact that the media found out and attached it to him. That wasn't even his thing, but he rolled with it. And yeah, I mean, you're already going in there. Your opponent has a job to do, but you put that name on there, and that just provokes the opponent more to want to get that on their resume.
for sure. So when you think about like, what I'm saying, like guys doing it for themselves, you know what I'm saying? Because like this is a sport where you gotta like really know, yeah, what's in you. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, just had to give him that plug. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm proud of what he's doing.
Yeah,
Homie, every time I see him. But yeah, yeah, in my own right, you know what I'm saying? I had no boxing family or nothing like that. I ain't come from no name myself. It's just something that, I knew it was in me. I just need to learn, need to build around it though. I need to like, because in the beginning you gotta like, things ain't gonna be sweet in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have the resources. You ain't gonna
right.
have the best. You know what I'm saying? I can get into most places just now off of just my size, resume, and everything. They'll take a look at me, but like you know what I'm saying? Like um, yeah, when you by yourself, then what's that gonna do for you whenever nobody is gonna be like bigging you up or like, oh, I got you over here.
That just made me get a newfound respect for Lomachenko because his amateur record is crazy,
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, dude like Lomachenko, man, he found himself in that system of boxing and then just took off, man. That's a lot of amateur fights, a lot of crazy, and to have for it to all be positive. I think he only like two, 3 losses. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Wow.
300 and something and two or something crazy like some.
Yeah,
It doesn't even make any. It's ridiculous, crazy.
for
And
sure.
I guess that's why he. That's why he. We're kind of getting off track. I don't want to get too much off track, but I guess that's why he's able to uh, take these, all these different angles and gamble on certain movements and things like that nobody else is doing because he's seen so many styles over and over and over and over and over again. He's found different approaches for all of them, so he has an answer for a lot of different things.
Yeah, ain't too much boxing wise. Probably ain't seen at that level. I mean, I'm still riding with Devin over everybody though, so we
Oh
gotta
yeah,
see what happens.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. I want Phil to get that last question out because you said something that we spoke about earlier today, and I want to get back to that. So I'm gonna let Phil get.
So who do you pattern your fighting style after? Now, I'm pretty sure I already know because you told me who was your favorite boxer, and it's funny because as we were sitting backstage and we were looking at it, the boxer that we came up with was Lennox Lewis. I've been a fan of Lennox Lewis's style of standing tall, living behind the jab, and then bringing that crushing right down as soon as you find the opening and continuing to just batter people's faces with it.
Yeah, you know what? And that's respect to the Kronk style coaching too. I've never been trained as a Kronk fighter, but I always watched them. You know what I'm saying? I watched the Kronk school. And you know, you got to make adjustments in there. Some fighters might be able to adapt to this or that. So like, you know, I look at boxing like as a history book. You know what I'm saying? I watch the old school and I watch the new school. You know, I see what works for them. You know what I'm saying? And when you bring a lot of the old school back to the new school game, it throws a lot of guys off because they just not used to seeing, you know what I'm saying, trainers ain't training like that no more. So yeah, like you know, there's a couple of different guys that I say like I would watch. Of course, Lennox being one of the top guys, and you know, you learn a lot from everybody. Like Michael McCullum was the body snatcher. You know, so learn how to get to the body and get to the body well. You know, watch it. But yeah, man, I'll sit back and I'll just flip through like fights, man. Just so many different guys out there to you could take something from them.
What's your favorite fight of all time?
Yo, just an entertaining fight, man. Like one of my favorite fights, I always catch myself watching it, or like if somebody come over, I'll bring them to this fight. It's Lennox Lewis versus Shannon Briggs. I love that fight, man. I don't know. They was just it was like a 6-round fight. You know, Lennox got him out of there in the 6th or something, maybe. But like it was just a lot of dog in that fight, man. They just went right at it. They started scrapping. I like Shannon Briggs as well. But I don't know yet. There's so many fights to pull from, but I always go back to that fight when I'm like showing somebody like, yo, check this fight out. Yeah.
Was that the fight? And I'm just assuming because that's actually one of my questions. What fight did you watch and you said, yeah, this is what I want to do? I know you were doing your dog, you going through your dog years and stuff like that. But what fight you said, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, you know what? When I was, all right, let's say like when I was like 15, I remember watching Berto and Andre Berto and what was that? Victor Ortiz.
Okay. Oh man.
Yo, that was a scrap, man. I remember that was a scrap. But then that's when I started watching boxing because, you know, UFC was the most popular thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it still is in its own way. It has a lot of popularity just in the household. So, like, yeah, I'm watching, like, Anderson Silva, and then they was like, well, who would win out of Anderson and Floyd? And then I got on the heavy, just back and forth. I would watch Floyd periodically. I would just check out Floyd, and I would stop watching boxing. Then I would check out Floyd, then I would stop watching boxing. But Floyd really, like, I'd say maybe like in 2016, he brought me to the sport of boxing, and I was watching Olympic style boxing when I said, yo, I'm going to try to go ahead and fight for USA boxing, the amateurs. Rio 2016 is when I decided, yeah, I'm actually pick this up. And I started, like, I got my first fight that next year. But now Floyd, of course, he had the all access to Showtime, you know, and seeing him whip around Vegas and then whoop dudes like that, Floyd was the one that like made me like, yo, I'm gonna get some of this money too.
Man, Olympics, and you're that from that 2016, 2020, like life just went by like. I mean, you were silver medalist, right? You're headed to the Olympics, and then here comes baby boy Julian.
Yeah.
And then it's like you start thinking a little differently. You're like, okay, it's not just about me, even though I have to put all this work in, but it's not just about me. And then next thing you know, you're turning pro.
For sure. For sure.
Uh,
Yeah, that changed the game, in its own great way, you know what I'm saying? I'm hella blessed, you know what I'm saying? So like whenever I knew he was coming, like I was like, oh, should I just go pro now? You know what I'm saying? A lot of debates went back and forth, and then I took my job because I wasn't making no money in the amateurs, they don't get paid. So I took my job back as a school teacher, started working that again, and then also like training people in boxing on the side. But I had trained myself the entire time I lived in Oklahoma. And that year I planned to travel around and, get my experience, get ready to go to Olympic trials and stuff. And I only left the last 6 weeks to train for it. And, I ended up placing silver, but, it just wasn't no more time left for me in the amateurs. I did everything I could do. And I had multiple offers, to turn pro. They kind of changed a little bit going into my actual contract, though. But yeah, they changed up, and I was like, yeah, I need to go ahead and just start this journey now because, you know, my son and stuff is counting on me and my people counting on me. Uh, and yeah, it wasn't no looking back. I knew like, I'd be more suited. I took myself as far as I could living in Oklahoma. There's nothing else I could learn or gain from being there. You 101 and the only freak boxer in the state like that was really taking it serious.
mhm.
Nothing. So
So
much you can do.
now you put T-Town on your back and take it with you. Um,
So
I'm gonna kind of pivot a little bit. Uh, defensive end, D
yeah,
two.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you played in high school and you played through college? You got that?
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't play until my senior year of high school, and then I ended up getting the college offer, and I was doing great. I actually had a couple of looks from some NFL scouts, uh, but I was young, man, and it wasn't really the school for me. We had a very terrible record. Like, I was a great player. I got ranked like top three in the conference, and tackles for loss, and five in sacks, and then like they bench me like for no reason, dog. No reason at all. Just the change of the staff. They just
For
didn't like
who?
me. Happened.
For what?
Man, I'm not gonna hold you. I don't think that town wasn't. I made a lot of friends in that town, but I dealt with some real racism from that coaching staff that year. Uh huh. And I feel like you know, me personally, I knew like I wasn't in the right headspace to stick around and continue playing football because I was at the point to where like I was like feeling some type of way about the coaches, and they didn't care, man. They come in off of the last staff getting completely fired. Every year we had a new coach. The team just couldn't like figure it out. And so like their whole thing was, oh, we didn't recruit you guys, so we can do whatever we want, and we can have a bad year. It's not going to reflect on us. Our job is secure. And yeah, so that when that went played out like that, I was like, no, man, I'm gonna just try something else. Man. MMA was my thing. Actually, I was gonna go to MMA. 8 canceled fights later. I still didn't fight MMA, and then I was just chilling for like a year, and I decided, yo, why don't I just box?
Why don't I just box? That's just like that.
Throw hands. That's all I got to do is just throw hands.
Just go box.
Yeah,
Let me ask you something about the heavyweight amateurs. Because it kind of I learned something.
yep.
In the heavyweight division of amateurs, you don't see as much movement or tactical or much speed differences that you see in the smaller weight divisions. So it feels like a lot of it's coming straight at you. It's not too much special effects. You know what I mean? It's impose your will with skill and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, even as professionals as well, not on that top level, of course, but like for the most part, a lot of these guys are they're being taught one thing: oh, you're big, just go out there and hit them. You're gonna knock them out. And so it's pretty much just waiting for whichever train to crash first. Whatever train wreck happens. My thing is when I started sparring, I had a lot of lighter guys, so they had me moving. I had to work to catch them. You know what I'm saying? And I knew it was about developing skills. So like I stayed out of the weight room. I didn't do anything outside of box, get my skills together. I was able to cover a lot of ground, especially dealing with these heavyweights that don't move. They only looking for this punch. They couldn't fight they can only fight on the front foot. So once you get most heavyweights going back, they don't know how to fight off the back foot. But I was undersized, so like my whole thing was working off the back foot most of the time. And once I started developing, you know what I'm saying, it just took off from there. But that's different than coaching again. We are late starters. Most of us are late starters, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't just grow up boxing every single day.
Right.
But, that being said, like how do you cover the ground is like get your technique right.
Put in the time.
Put the time in. Get the technique together.
So oh man, I'm glad you brought the point up about on the back foot, because I'm already seeing you step back, create space, and throw that check left. And it's just like I seen you do it like a couple times. I don't want to let the game play out, but it was just beautiful that you don't step back with no action.
Yeah.
You don't step back with no action. You're not in there wasting time, because the jab is just phenomenal. That's why Lennox Lewis that came to mind. And there's a little like small thing that maybe an untrained eye didn't see, and I don't even know if I want to say it, because you got next Saturday coming up, but
trust me, there's a whole bunch I want to ask, but I got to remember he got to fight next week, so we got to save all the juice.
But you know what? I'm not worried about Nick Jones. So so I love how it's kind of like a Houdini thing, where the left is there and the right slides right behind it. Boom! And you don't see that thing coming. And that's a very Lennox Lewis thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot. Like I say, you can talk about what a guy sees in the ring. Like let's take Anthony Joshua Usyk. You could tell him what he needs to be doing, but until you're in the ring with this guy, you really don't know what the motherfucker's going through. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I could tell him like, yo, I do this with my left, but once if you do make an adjustment, you happen to see it, well then I'm gonna just make my next adjustment. You know what I'm saying? You got to make adjustments on top of adjustments in the fight game, and then most of the time, like I say, having somebody tell them what they see, and you seeing it for yourself, like Nick probably gonna be like, oh well, all I gotta do is get away from the right. Well, I bet you get hit with 1,000 rights next week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. But like I say, man, being in the ring.
Didn't have no your boy FA didn't have no problems.
FA had no problems, man. Right?
No problem.
Oh. Yeah.
All right. Now I want to get into a low, but you're so transparent and very cool about talking about the development of the Jake Paul situation and how, because looking into it and reading to it, I mean, I wanted it bad for you. Madison Square Garden, 5-fight win streak going in. You know what I mean? And on a very good card, and things fell apart. And what you do, you say, well, on to the next.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can't. That's the fight game, ain't it? It's part of it. When these fights come out, and I've been like, unfortunately, had the weirdest start. I've had so many fights fall out. I've had opponents pull out, right an hour before we go to the fight. You know what I'm saying? So like, it definitely sucks because, like I say, once a fight is canceled, you don't get none. All that equity you put into it, you know what I'm saying, is gone. You know what I'm saying? The training, the rounds and the bag, you know what I'm saying? The money on camp, you know what I'm saying? Driving back and forth to the gym. Yeah, it's
The
like,
diet.
nothing. But he gave the purse. He gave half the purse to all the fighters on the undercard. So it was major respect. You
Oh,
know what I'm saying?
okay, great.
Never happened. That's never happened. I don't remember any
Yeah.
stories like not happened to me. So I'm hella thankful, and yeah, there'll be opportunities for me to work on his card again. So anytime Jake Paul fights, yo, go Jake.
So are you under Top Rank, or you work? Is it in conjunction with Top Rank
Yeah, so
with Holding Productions?
yeah, Tony Holden is my he is my promoter, but like
Okay.
he works so closely with a lot of these guys. Jake Paul as well, uh, Top Rank. He does all the licenses, especially like whenever they come back home and does shows. But he's been in the game for years. He had Iran Barkley, Tommy Morrison. So a real seasoned guy, seasoned promoter. Then you got my management, Victory Sports, and they have their connection stuff. And yeah, so it's been like I was talking to Charles Martin, former IBF world champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charles, that's my homie, but like he told me the other day, he said, "Man, yo, I never fought in my hometown, man. You lucky for that. I always wanted to." And I'm like, wow, I think about it, like not so many people get to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this will be my third fight at home, and yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hella blessed with that opportunity.
Nice, nice. So you got this fight. You've got this fight coming up, and I guess let's not put the cart before the horse. So how what's been your mindset going through this? And I know that you said you've been on to the next, and so I guess what I'm beating around the bush at and trying to get to is more like, tell me more about the business end of the fight game for a guy for an up and comer, because normally when we hear the stories about how it goes, you're hearing about the silver spoon guys who've all won gold medals, are heavily managed, heavily protected, and go out and have the best of everything. So how does it go in the fight game when you got to earn your way up from the bottom?
Man, I mean, you know what? That's the looking at too, because even whenever I like, the one thing about it is I had the viral knockout, and that helped me. That helped me with name recognition and jump through a lot of different doors. But it feel like a blessing and a curse at the same time. But then, you know, opportunities I thought been off of that didn't necessarily come. On time, it's still there. But like, when you think about these guys who got like these other situations for themselves, like yeah, they're not having to take these routes. Sometimes you gotta pay your opponent. You got some of these dudes. They come from big money. You know what I'm saying? Like they got big money promoters behind them, big money management, making sure everything is like straight. And I'm still fighting. And I pay my rent off my person. Or smart. You know what I'm saying? That's how I get my bills paid. So like I'm still like having to like pay all these different dues. I got responsibilities as well. So yeah, when I think for me, I'm gonna take my path is gonna look a lot different. I was scheduled to fight another undefeated opponent going into New York, and I was wanting them to just move him over to Tulsa, but my promoter was like, we want another local guy because it'll do good for sales and stuff, and that's how Nick came into the picture. But I think they'll keep matching me up. You know what I'm saying? Most people will complain about that. I just accept it. I don't really care um, what their record is. But like I say, we gotta take a little bit more risk and we gotta move a little differently because we still trying to, get there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys they'll outprice themselves. Some of these dudes that they see that knockout and they ask for a lot of money to fight me now. And we ain't got the bag behind us to pay them, I guess. I don't I'm not downplaying anybody, but I mean shit, that's just what it is. So we got
And
to take guys that like cool guys who think they really gonna beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like the last dude we really thought he was gonna win. So like he got completely classed. Um, But you know what? You gotta wait for guys to step up because, like I say, it is getting harder to find fights.
You know, you should probably tell them they better catch you now before you get better, because
Yo,
it's going to be problems. I think I asked you, what are some of the things that you were working on? And if I'm not mistaken, you said combinations. You want to be more active with the combinations, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Go ahead.
oh yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, that's what I.
Uh, no, I mean, me like putting the combination together, keeping that speed. You know, you think of guys that have real good success like Andy Ruiz and these champions. They still fight with. I just look at the intensity. I look across the board. I see the intensity. I see the action behind like they movement and patterns and stuff like that. So yeah, for me, it's about like making sure that like I don't get uh, lax lax on what I bring.
Kind of put yourself to sleep with your own cadence.
For sure, a lot more. There's a lot more that can be done to win a fight. In the amateurs, you know what I'm saying? You got 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds, so you're like boom, 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 trying to get it fast, you know. But what pros tend to lose is they lose some of that sense of urgency. You know what I'm saying? Like they push themselves. You know what I'm saying? Push yourself a little bit more to you know what I'm saying? To So yeah, not like I'm just gonna go out and just throw a lot of punches, but like following up, you know, them together. Kind of what I want. That's what I'm looking at doing.
So I got a question. When was the last time that you genuinely felt in the ring you got tested?
Oh man, I mean, I get tested a lot. I mean, you know, I've been sparring with Fa Jagba. He's gonna be on this card as well. Um, you know, and I mean, like, when you stay around the top guys, you know, I was in London sparring with Dubois. You know, we did that I spar with. You know, I got Rob, who come. He just missed last week, but they bring different things to the table. You know,
Right.
some of these guys got really good motive. Andrew T, he just won over. You know, they're lighter. You know what I'm saying? So they just got more of a work rate than what heavyweights naturally would do, and you see all these different things. But yeah, you know, you don't get better than like saying it. If I'm just somewhere where I'm just the top dog, being like, I'm saying like quality for me, I gotta move around. I gotta feel like I'm pushing myself. You know,
Right.
Right.
like I say, you guys, you know, I always make sure I have a gym, but like I say, you gotta make sure that you're around other like-minded killers.
And you're definitely not making it easy on yourself in the Mayweather gym, sparring with Tabiti, cruiserweight that took care of business Saturday night.
Yeah.
Fa and Rob, you know, you got speed, you got power going on. You're getting a lot of different looks, and I know you didn't name drop, but I'm a name drop for you. You got a chance to mix it up with Tyson,
For
and
sure.
you earned some respect with him, right?
I did do that. Yeah. So I mean, Tyson, he's always watching my stories, man. Yeah, Tyson keep tab on me from a distance, man.
Yeah.
Is the epitome of, you know what I'm saying, like top level, like that's it, you know, like our generation right now. Um, and yeah, just so many different rounds. Like we swap for like 3 weeks, you know what I'm saying? He makes so many different adjustments. And like, okay, so now you got to fight differently. You know what I'm saying? You always gotta learn something, man. You gotta learn something from everybody you step in there with.
So just to follow up on Tyson real quick, we've all watched Tyson Fury fight. We watched the trilogy with Deontay Wilder. What is it like for a guy that big to box that well? That's like two things that should never ever happen. There should never be a guy that's that big who can box that well.
Unicorn.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of it don't make sense, man. Like, really, it's his wingspan, man, more than
Yeah.
anything. He pop in. Dudes be tall all the time, but like the fact that he could pull away and wiggle out of there and move his head and get low, fight on the inside. There are a lot of things people, oh, look at him, he looks so out of shape. Yeah, that's funny and all, but shit, the motherfucker can fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He grew up fighting. Gypsy family. That's what they do. They travelers. They bang. Yeah, man, a lot of different things that you could be like, okay, it look one way on TV, but when you're in there with them, it's another different thing, man. So it was a great learning experience, great confidence building. You know what I'm saying? Gaining the respect that I gained from my skills, getting compliments from the man. Come on.
So to keep that going, because you said something that was very important, is that what it looks like on TV is different from what it actually looks like in the ring. I get it that things happen a whole hell of a lot faster in the ring when you misjudge something, and that means you're getting bapped upside your melon. But what is that? What is that really like? Because you get a chance at working in this particular line of business that you're in. We'll call it that. It's incredible because we see all of these guys on camera. We see all these guys on TV. We see their sparring sessions being recorded, but you're in there live. Are their skills even that much more impressive when you see them live?
You know what? It's crazy because for me, I'm like, my first official camp, I was with Luis Ortiz, and I was like, wow, yo, they fighting wild. I'm like, wow, that's Ortiz, man. I'm like, and the next thing you know, boom, yo, we touch the gloves and now we spawn. So like, you gotta take yourself out of it. Like one thing, even with Fury, like when I fucking sparred with Fury, only thing that went to my mind was like, wow, I was literally back in the hood like some years ago, just messing around with the homies and beating up dudes in the street. And now I'm like, yo, off a hood bet that I can continue doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now I'm ding, yo, you sparring with the champ. Like, let's get it. So for me, it's almost like that's the real nature. That's when it becomes reality. But, I do this too. You know what I'm saying? The most respectful thing, I think, why a lot of these dudes, because people come in, they could just like freeze in the moment, yeah? Like, who am I sparring with? You have that. You have that happen. You know what I'm saying? Definitely happened to me. First couple of days, I'm like, yo, how am I going to make my adjustment? Then, like, you start, like, you got to remember that you do it too, man. You got to remember, okay, I'm in the business and I deserve to be here because I'm here. You feel me? Like, I'm here. I'm already standing there with him. You know what I'm saying? Dude called me to get to work. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he saw something in me. Now I got to be true to what he's seen. You know what I'm saying? I got to be true to myself. So, no, for me, like I say, it's nothing but respect because I'm a fan of the sport as well. And like I said, it was me at the house watching YouTube a couple years ago, seeing these guys, to being actually in the mix in my own capacity. So it's like, nah, I'm gonna check all that other shit, outside the ropes, and now I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna get after you a little bit.
Right. No, I totally get it. So you got anything else, Tom?
Yeah. Is he? Did we lose him?
Oh, did he lose? Wait, what happened? We lost him.
We lost him. Let me get my.
Probably phone died. Maybe. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremiah, the Dreamland Milton. Candid, unfiltered, real, genuine.
I'll definitely be tuning into that fight this weekend.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah. His sparring partner made quick work of him. So maybe he'll break a sweat. Maybe he'll break a sweat on that one. Hopefully he comes back. I kind of want to ask him about Coach Larry Wade and Coach Justin Camper. Yeah, man. another story that you can follow, get behind. Um, he's one of us doing something incredible.
Doing something he loves, just like we are. Like he said, when you're doing this for the love, and you're not trying to shortchange with, like this whole thing we got going on. Said we over here making it with what we got, coming together, working every day, working in the lab, trying to get better, to build this combat lounge up and make it something special that all of you guys can be proud of. And he's back.
My fault.
We lost you, brother.
Yeah, that was me. Oh my, yeah.
Now I get a chance to ask you about Coach Larry Wade.
Oh yeah.
Yamper. How did that connection happen, and what have they been doing for you?
Oh man, you know what? Like that was the reason why I signed with my management. I told my manager that, I told Wade that, they all know. I was out here and I took my first tour to come see what type of program I'd be a part of. And when I met Wade, what I'm saying, I already knew he was training Sean Porter, who I looked up to in the sport, as far as just the dog inside of him. And he never seemed to get tired. If I ever lost any amateur fight, I always felt like it came down to my stamina, not my skills. So I knew, this would be a department that I needed to check off, going forward. It was like, man, that was a perfect fit. When I met him, he talked to me, and he had so much things that I connected with, because he's being from Texas, I'm from Oklahoma. There was a lot of similar energy and logic. He's a real hustler. He's a go-getter, Coach Wade. And I felt that in his aura. I felt like, he had the best intentions for me. And that's how we connected.
Okay, and so I'm about to pivot into something else that was very interesting that I noticed. When you fought Dale Long, you were on a 290 something day layoff. Like you haven't fought in a while. What was that? You were going through business changes. What was that layoff about?
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, it was a mix between it's been scheduled to spar, and then things got a little icky there, man. It was an icky time, and definitely some business stuff wasn't really clicking right. Just kind of figuring out my next move, the team and everything like that. We remained solid, but it came down to also being just in that position. There was being in that position I talked to you about earlier with how you say the good and bad that came with that viral knockout.
Right.
And so then I signed my promoter. And my promoter, we were able to get that next fight going in January, and that helped out a lot. But yeah, I was also changing coaches and a lot of different stuff. Wasn't really boxing. I had to. Boxing took a shot, which sucked. It sucked. Yeah, it sucked bad.
And that probably happens to a lot of fighters. And you can either make it right, or you're going to just kind of waver and find yourself on the outskirts and not fulfilling the potential or what you had set out to do.
Yeah. The main thing is you don't want to catch yourself moving backwards. This is a sport where you can easily get left behind in, because it's a daily grind, and so that's why I've been checking. Make sure we don't end up in a position like that. Again, to where there's a pause in the action.
So I got a question for you. That's not off topic, but in a slightly different direction than what we've been coming with so far. DeAndre Savage.
Oh Lord, he come up, man. That name is forever tied to me.
Hey, listen. Hey, so it's kind of an interesting thing to me because when you toe to toe as fighters, and that's what fighters do. You know what I'm saying? You expect things to go down, but I also understand the financial aspects of that, and nobody's fighting for free.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at I'm one of these guys. I've never been a huge trash talker, at least not before the fight. I'm not giving nobody no extra motivation to want to come out here and put one on me even more than they already do. But that's just my personal style. But I just think it's some clown shit for you to be a professional boxer with all your homies behind you, this dude who's by himself, and you sitting here yapping, and not doing nothing with no knuckles.
No. I mean, I think he knew exactly what he didn't want to do that because him and his homie would have been had a bad day that day. Him and his homie.
He was trying to psych himself out.
That's what it looked like because I'm sitting here looking at the stare down and I'm like, hey, bro, he about to beat your ass because you might want to be quiet.
You know what? So the energy behind that, man, like it's real. Like I really do want to piece that dude up so bad. Like it ain't like I've been out here for 2 years in Vegas, man. I done sparred with everybody. And he knew I was out here before, quote unquote, the beef even happened. It was like, yo, if you felt this way, why didn't you ever come see me, even for sparring, bro? So like, he's a what we call a perpetrator and a pretender. You know what I'm saying? He trying to rob the game, and that's all right. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be talking to me like you about to do something, because I don't have no quarrels with just pulling right up on you. And that's just how it is, But yeah. I mean, we've offered him a fight a couple times. They can say whatever they want to say. They ain't take the damn fight.
He didn't take the fight?
Yeah, come on, man. So like, usually I don't put like when I go at him on social media now, it's just because I be bored or I enjoy the process of people laughing at just how much of a clown he is. He's not somebody to be taken serious. It's fun. It's all fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like if it was me taking these shots, he'd have been like, I'd have had to fight you. Like, bro, what are you doing? Yo, I don't know. I could. There's no way I can bait him into actually fighting me. But in the meantime, like, if he has the size he wants to fight, we can make it happen. He's thinking about this big payday. I'm not thinking about no payday from him because he's not. He's just a fight. You know what I'm saying? He know once he fight me, that's a wrap. He then took his L, But I'm just like, yo, we could fight for a couple $1,000 or $20. I said $20 and some wrap snacks one time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna smack you, dog. Like, but
I just take what I got in my pocket right now and I just give it to you. You can have it. I don't even need to get paid for this.
Yeah.
After
man.
I knock your ass out, I'm gonna take my money back.
Right. Yeah. Yo, like, keep it simple. Just like, man. It's funny though, but yeah, like Savage, he'll be around, you know what I'm saying? He's a troll, so like I feel like I'll just be trolling him because he's a troll. That's what they do. They troll people, so I just kind of troll them back,
Right.
And it's you're right, it's too late for him. He should have tried this 2-3 years ago or something like that, because now you're a bad business for him.
Man,
career shortener. That's what we call it, the career shortener.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. If we had our names on 2 contracts, that would be the end of his career.
So Oklahoma, close to Texas, Cowboy fan?
Sooners.
Man, you know what? I would probably just say OU. You know what I'm saying? Like. I'm not really heavy on like football as I was, and I wasn't ever heavy on it when I was out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched pros. You know what I'm saying? But not college is big in Oklahoma, of course. But like, I was a Chiefs fan and a Seahawks fan for the longest, like between those 2 teams. Yeah.
Listen,
me
listen,
introduce
bro,
you to it.
I didn't ran folks for less than that.
That's my bad. That's my bad, Jay, man. I didn't let you know who we were. This is a huge Raider panel, and
Hey,
I mean,
wait a minute. Everybody Raiders up on here? Is that what we doing?
Yes,
there's
sir.
Raiders here. There's Raiders in the chat.
Yeah, man. We run with the Raiders.
That's how I built up my name, was covering the Raiders, writing blogs, doing podcasts and whatnot. Me and Tone covered the NFL draft this year in Vegas.
That's what's up, man. You know what? But I'm pulling for the Raiders, man. Because look, I don't really got a horse in the race, man. I say, I grew up with these teams, but like I say, we got Josh Jacobs out there, so I'm always pulling for the Raiders. I live here too, man. Like, we gotta Raiders. We gotta go hard for the Raiders. If we here, we gotta go for them. So like,
check the history. You'll find a lot of similarities with your life and something you can connect with. And then we should definitely see you in a jersey this year, silver and black jersey.
I mean, one thing about it though, Oakland Raiders before they was Vegas Raiders, like they always been hard though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I already know what type of energy they bringing, man. Like, they gonna fight somebody at the you know what I'm saying? They go hard. So like, I ain't trying to make no Raiders fans upset in the chat, man. Trust me, I'm not willing to die for this, man.
We don't want to make
thing I seen at the Coliseum was the cop that got a beer thrown at his face.
They don't play,
beer.
man. They don't play. Like I seen a homie in the store the other day, man. He had this, bro. It was a nice piece, man. It was a Raiders piece on his arm. I was like, bro, can I get that on video? You let me record it. I was like, yeah, bro, this shit clean. But they diehards like that, boy. But I mean, a lot of people in football but them Raiders fans though. Whew. Yeah, don't get on their side, man. There'll be 40 of them, 50 of them coming at you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Quick,
yeah,
quick,
deep.
yeah. Town business.
Town business, man. Town business.
All right, so I guess it's 8. I promise I get you out here by 8. I just want to ask one more question because I saved the best one for last, which is that devastating knockout. And when I keep watching it, and I'm convinced you didn't even get him all the way.
Yeah,
like you landed it, but it wasn't like how it could be.
That's the craziest part about it, the shot. You know what I'm saying? Because like here I am on grade to follow up and do more. Look at this. The first shot I dropped dead long with the high tempo shot. It just came off real quick left hook. This is the part of the game that, I want to get back to, really doing. Because even with that right hand, I set it up, but it was so relaxed. It was so fluid. It hit right where it needed to hit. It landed like on the bottom of the chin that rattles the brain. I be aiming for the spots that's going to shake something up. But in the same sense, though, it's like it don't really take much, when you land that perfect punch. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, when I'm thinking about it, you look back on it, because I was in complete control of the situation. I could have threw another punch, but I had enough time to register, and it's funny because, like, if you watch the whole thing, there was a left hook that, like, swept right past him. He was already stuck. He was leaning back, but that left hook was coming to clean up. And, he's very fortunate it didn't land because he didn't need to get hit again. That was it.
I think God must have turned another angle on you or something like that, so that boy can
Hey, that man's life.
see the next day. Because I said, oh, if that would have been a little bit more flush, and then he would have caught that next one.
Man.
He threw one of them Andre Johnson hooks on Chris Carr, whatever that fool's name was.
Yo, I think I know what shot you're talking about too.
Yeah, that one it wasn't the one that he hit him with. It was the one that he missed, where it was like, oh my God, if he had hit him with that left, boy.
Yeah, boy. I'm talking about the referee had a bad angle too. That's why I always say, like, he couldn't see what I was looking at, but I seen that dude leg lock up like that, and the way his arm was stuck. I looked at the ref. I'm like, yo, and I kind of motioned. I said, yo, because I still, I'm still thinking about fighting too.
Right.
And I'm like, oh shit, I think it's over. You know what I'm saying? And I walked back to my corner. I said, oh shit, it's over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all see that? I said, what? I said, y'all see that shit? And you see me walk back, and I'm just nonchalant about it. I said, yeah, y'all see that shit? And then then we talked about it in the back.
Because you did walk, you did just walk smooth up like
yeah,
Hey, you need to come get him. Somebody needs to come get him.
yeah, no, it was crazy, bro. Like in real time, the things that you talk about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it in real time, and I'm like, man, yo, so we talking about in the back, and I'm like, man, yo, should I hit him again? And they said, nah, man, trust me, like the way that played out, you know what I'm saying? It was beautiful, and I'm like, well, okay, cool, because you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to hit him, but I'm thinking, damn, this is my first time on ESPN. Maybe I should have hit him. You know what I'm saying? But like, and I was like, you know what? It was right. I didn't hit him. Then next thing you know, boom, it just starts going viral. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it just started to pop, and everybody started resharing it. 50 started resharing it, and it was a huge moment for my career. You know, starting off this early.
6 pounds of pressure.
Yeah,
6 pounds
nothing.
of pressure, something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, like I say, being strong is a bonus. You know what I'm saying? But being able to land that shot, being able to land that perfect punch, being able to put these punches together, it's a different game at that point. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Oh,
Jay,
man.
you got anything?
No, man, thanks for coming on the show, man. It was great to talk to you and see what you had to say and get to know you, man. Anytime.
Definitely.
Man, for sure, man. That was I expected you to be transparent, man, and when your signal dropped, I was just telling people, man, he's one of us, you know. He's getting out the mud, you know what I mean? Not taking anything for granted, you know what I mean? But also, you know, you also have some stones, you know what I mean? You got some stones in your pocket, so you know what I mean. You're ready for what's coming next, and you don't get overwhelmed. I think that Tyson Fury experience helped you to develop even a stronger mindset of nobody's above me. I'm here, you a man, I'm a man, and as long as I'm still standing and compete, I'm gonna give it all my all. You're gonna be in trouble.
For sure.
All right. Last question. Last little tidbit. So you said you wanted to do MMA. Did you see Leon Edwards winning that fight like that?
Nah, man. Like the thing about it is, I'm not like a avid watcher, bro. I just know like Usman is that dude, and I've seen Usman fight, and I've seen our Adesanya fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
These guys kind of brought me back to the sport. Izzy the most, because he's such a flashy fighter. A lot of different things is about him. You could pick so many things I like about dude, but you know what? I lost my little parlay yesterday because I had my heart bet was with Joshua, not mine. But my heart bet was just like, come on, Joshua, do the damn thing this time. You know, you got all the attributes, and then
I gotta talk about this. We're in overtime. I gotta talk about this.
And then Usyk, then not Usyk, but then Philip Hergovich, bro, he lost that fight to Zhang. So I had Zhang and I had Joshua, and then I didn't know because I would have probably thrown Edwards in just like on a straight bet. Just because I bet the odds were great. But but ain't nobody I wouldn't honestly it'd be like I would have thrown $20 at it. That way I didn't feel like I was wasting money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just a quick little Uber Eats or something.
Yeah, turn that $20 into a full tank or something.
But I'm waking up and the homie's like, oh, I won my bet with Edwards. I said, because I told him yesterday, I said, bro, you took that bet. I said, I would not bet against Usman, bro. I mean, like one thing I know is fucking Usman. So now I'm looking at it. I mean, he was out. He was out bad. Damn, head kick. And he was winning every round, right?
except for the first.
Except for the first.
Edwards got the first round, and then
I just went and dominated and had Edwards look like, look, I know that it once again reinforced that a fight is not over until it is over.
Over, boy.
Because Edwards for 3 rounds looked absolutely dead in the water.
Damn.
Like he wasn't giving anything. He wasn't looking his trainer in the eye in the corner. It was just like it looked like he had already completely checked out.
I have
After the third round.
I started realizing he was looking the same since he walked in the ring. He walked in the ring with that demeanor look. He had that demeanor the whole fight. It was almost. And I said he probably had us all fooled.
Yeah.
He never his emotions never. He never got rattled. He never got overwhelmed. He just looked. The way the fight was going, he was like, okay, he's not showing any type of energy or whatever. But the whole time, he was in his space and just waited on his moment.
One thing I say about that too is one thing about Usman I've noticed when I watch him, it's not like he had that knockout against Masvidal. Yeah, that was great. Phenomenal stoppage. Great backhand. But I've seen him get hit. It's not like he's like masterfully like avoiding, taking shots. He's just a hell of a wrestler, and a grinder. From my experience of watching him, so like I've seen him get hit before. So, in this game, the fight game, man, like you said, it ain't over until it's over. And a lot of those MMA guys, they do get hit. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it could be a coin toss, but man, he was on top, man. Like he been on top for how many years now? So like you said, he tweeted out, champs, make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? He'll be back.
Yeah, my buddy did an 8-fight parlay. They sent me a video of dude watching the Leon and Usman fight in the 5th round on the couch, and he's just like this because it's the last fight he needs to hit to win 15 G's.
Whoa!
And then he sent me the video after, and he was clowning on all of them because he got the walk-off head kick and Leon won the fight. He won 15 G's. Like, you're sitting there watching that fight, knowing your night's over.
Somebody dropped 60 on Edwards. Somebody had dropped 60 large on Edwards and won 106, or was it 40 on?
40 G's on Edwards.
He won 164,000.
160-something.
Yo, I heard Jake dropped $1 million on Usman.
Usman?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did
It
Drake.
must be nice to have throwaway fuck you money like that. It must be nice.
We should have known he was going to lose that fight when Drake dropped that money on him.
Yo, that's the sign, ain't it?
Yep.
That's the sign, man.
Yo, curse.
Yo, Drake, I know you watching this. Stay away from Jeremiah. He got this. Don't. We don't need.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Drake, man. It's all love, but man, stay away from
Bet on me, please.
All right, Jeremiah, you the tiebreaker. You're the tiebreaker in this conversation about Anthony Joshua fights. We'll go around with each other's hands. I saw Joshua in the late first, 2nd round. He started to figure he can just parry the shots and then throw his counter at the end, at the end of his shots. And then Usyk's adjustment was just to throw more punches in volume and not allow him to find those holes. And in essence, it smothered him. And he wasn't able to really fight on the inside, and he wasn't able to fight on the outside because the punches was coming. And I don't think Anthony Joshua is really that comfortable on the inside.
No. I mean, with the shorter guy, too, he's still got the Ruiz knockout in his mind, thinking about that shot coming that he just doesn't see. He did a lot better taking the shots. I mean, he took some hellacious punches himself, but his style was to just try to catch and in return, and he was doing good at it. But one thing about it is when you have your hands all the way back here and he's so robotic in his movements still. And what hurts him even worse is if you're gonna be robotic, at least be forceful and robotic. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you see him snap off a jab and you be like, oh fuck, that's the one you need. but then he'll go back to this little shit right here, just kind of like barely swatting and prodding at him. It's like
not throwing punches with bad intentions.
Bad intentions, you know what I'm saying? Even if you miss, man, like, you know, when he started going to the body and he got away from it. Like, bro, that stuff was working. Continue to go to the body. Then he had that one series where he's just rattling off body shots. I mean, yo, he hit Usyk with some stuff, but I see Usyk, he always tends to, like, even his last fight, he'll drop off like round 7 and 8 and then just finish strong. It's almost like his goal is to take off in between those couple rounds right there and then come back with like a hell. Like, as soon as I went past 6, I was like, well, you know, Joshua's not winning this neither, because he's just not going to keep up with him. And at the pace that he was choosing to fight at, that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't going to get the job done. When he did land, he landed some, but he landed with the intention, like, I don't think I'm going to actually hit him. So it shocked him. It shocked him to be landed. You know what I'm saying? But if he's throwing with actual force, I don't see why he don't stop Usyk. Like, you know, Usyk is strong now. You know what I'm saying? Tough, but he's throwing with actual commitment behind the shots. Because Usyk's face was battered more in the first fight than it was in this fight. You know, credit to Usyk for, like, not being there to be hit, like, flush. But there was a couple times where, like, he pulled and landed that right hand, but he didn't turn into it like he needed to. And you ask me, like, squatting down low and keeping your hands back here, you're already slower than him. So, like, why don't you just leave the jab out there closer to him? Give him something to react to, like how he's doing you. He's kind of just, he's touching you so much, it's making you uncomfortable. You're trying to catch every shot, but you're actually getting hit.
The way you did Swabby.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's getting hit, trying to catch all these shots, and he's already one step behind because he's so far back when he's where he's punching from. It's coming from all the way back here, as opposed to just being here. You know?
Right.
Yeah, add that to your game, and you know, like, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So that's how Usyk was able to really close the distance when he wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Usyk got the footwork. He got all the other skills and stuff, but, like, sometimes Joshua, like, he'll throw the jab and he'll leave it out there. Like, he'll just get stuck on it. Like, bring it back at least. And I don't know. Tyson Fury is a different fight, man. If you fight Tyson, I think Usyk has a good shot of being in the mix, but Tyson's going to use his advantages properly.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see, you know, how the rest of it shapes out. But, man, you know, when Joshua, you know, I kind of respected him for, like, spazzing out at the end, because at least, you know, he tried, dog. He like, man, yo, he went
and got Robert Garcia. Like, he said, okay, I'm gonna do something different. You know, like you said, you know, if you feel like you're the big dog in the gym, you're gonna move, you're gonna keep it pushing because you want to be pushed.
Yeah.
And I, you know, Robert Garcia, he's a, you know, his fighters are tough.
Yeah. You can't say, you know what I'm saying, that Joshua didn't. He gave his best effort. You know what I'm saying. He really tried, because he knew how important it was for him to win this fight. You know, but the man carrying a lot of weight, man. Like, everything he says is, like, always being microscoped. And, you know, people, it got to be hard to play that role, you know what I'm saying, all the time. You know what I'm saying, to where, like you look at everything. Usyk is fighting for his country. Everybody knows that. You know, Joshua is still, like, having to do all this extra. You can tell he has to do all this extra stuff. He gotta wear Under Armour this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, make sure you put this bottle in the picture. Like,
Right.
That's not what a fighter need to be thinking about, man.
So I said, you saw Rocky 3, right? You seen Rocky Part 3?
For sure.
And you see how he had to un-Hollywood himself and go to the hood.
Yeah.
Get that grit back. And we were of the mind, yeah, that's what he needs to do. You know, some people said he needs to just take some time off and get his mind right. I said, nah, he doesn't need to get more comfortable than he is. He needs to get uncomfortable.
Thing about it is he never left Hollywood, though. Hollywood is the UK for him. Yeah. he
Yeah.
brought shit to Hollywood, but he didn't leave Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah. I
Well, that
mean,
makes
you know,
sense.
yeah, I mean, like, think about it. Like, even listen to people talking around him. Like, I don't know. I wasn't in the camp. I wasn't there. But you think about, like, look at Tyson Fury and Sugar Hill's relationship, you know? Whenever they were going into their fight, Sugar getting in his ass, like, nah, don't let this motherfucker in the fight. Like, he's like, he got that respect to where it's like, things aren't just molded around you. You know what I'm saying? You being the fighter, like, if you left it up to me, shit, well, I think I'm gonna take off. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, potentially. Not saying he ain't want it that bad enough for himself to go through all the fire, but you gotta, Muhammad Ali, man, like, he made it to where, like, he went and built himself a whole training camp up in the woods just to get
Right.
away from the people, get away from the distractions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you gotta, when you got that much money and you just deciding to do this off of just your pride, dog, like, it gotta take something else for you to step away, man. One of the coolest sayings I heard in boxing is like, man, you know, like, whenever you ain't got nothing, it's a broke man sport, you gotta get up and go grind. But then you start getting your money, and it's like, man, these silk sheets, man, I don't know if I want to get up at 6 a.m. and run. Dog, I'm gonna just turn over, man. I'm gonna run tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
the comfort is the death of a fighter.
Right.
Yeah. So if he could have made one adjustment, maybe he should have just got out of the UK, did a whole camp in America somewhere, ducked off, and I still think he should have fought more rangy. You know, he's like not effectively marching to him. You know, he's walking him down, but not effectively walking him down.
I thought the volume of punches made him just cautious because, like you said, he saw Ruiz again. PTSD. When you see you see him coming your way, and I guess he still hasn't found an answer for it.
No, you see him battling in between rounds. Like, he gets hit with a punch, and he's like, okay, I'm still here, I'm good. But he's still talking to himself, you know?
Yeah.
Even yesterday, between rounds, you see him talking to himself like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Like, you know? You should be thinking about that.
And you got to fight to your range. And he didn't fight to his range. You know, he was a bigger fighter. Clearly looked like the much better conditioned fighter, but it was like he was confused the whole time is what it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, being in that ring, seeing something different, got to be different. So it's hard to talk about it. But there's certain things that, you know, if I see like going to the body is working and I can't really hit this dude in the head, or just keep tearing up his body, because that did slow Usyk down for a second. But Usyk trained his ass off for that fight, and I heard he was doing like 15 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I just want to thank you, because I am a huge proponent, and these two will tell you, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I'd have been shouting, bro. What are you doing? Like, punch him in the fucking body. Keep hitting him to the body.
What are you doing?
Yeah, if you're not landing on the head like you need to be, like, because he was landing hellacious body shots. Like,
yeah,
you know what I love about body shots? What I love the most is it takes their will. It takes your opponent's will. Like anybody, when you see guys get knocked out for body shots, that's a decision that you don't want to do more of what's coming. Because it's different when you get hit in the head and you knocked out. You can't think. You can't decide
that brain process.
Right, the brain can't process it. But when you get hit with a body shot and you just say, I'm cool, your spirit is broken.
I mean, Jeremiah, you're good at doing that. I've seen you in all your fights tearing up the body, and that's when you have so much success up high, man.
For sure, man. Buddy said, kill the body, the head gotta die, man. I might choose to take him out with a body shot this weekend. Hell,
hey, look.
Do it for us.
Please. But you know what? Don't do them too bad, because then nobody ain't gonna sign after you see him do homeboy like that. What song? You got your song for your ring interest yet? You got your song yet?
Yo, I'm so bipolar with music, man. I really ain't narrowed it down just yet. I be feeling different things, and next thing you know, I switch it up when I get there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know yet, but
I got one for you. I got one for you.
yeah,
You need to go out to Best Rapper Alive, Lil Wayne.
the best rapper alive. That'd be hard.
Yeah,
Man.
but in my head, I hear Best Dabber Alive. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that'll get it going. That'll get the blood rolling.
Yeah, you know it's the city, man. So I'm gonna come out with something, you know, that's
Oh yeah,
we
you
gonna
got,
go hard.
you got some local rappers out there. You could probably rep for it too, huh?
No, for sure. We do got some guys. I wanna wait till I'm like a little higher up, and I'm gonna start giving some of them guys like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm higher up in the cards, even though it's my city, you know what I'm saying? But like there's some things I want to do to bring the town alive, especially in that regard. But yeah, man, music to me, man, it's all about like what I'm feeling in that moment. You know,
Yeah.
a song might speak to me, and then I like next thing you know, this one speaks to me, and I'm like, that's the one.
Yeah.
So, do you have another couple minutes? Because we can wrap this show up. We need to wrap this show up, and we talk off air. You got another couple minutes?
You got another question for me? Go ahead.
No,
We're gonna chop it up. We're gonna chop it up in the back. We're just gonna wrap it up.
For sure.
Yo, Jeremiah Dreamland Milton. Next week, his next victim, Nick Jones.
Nick Jones, that's a wrap.
Watch that. Support.
Yeah, good luck to you, man.
Yo,
Good luck, man.
appreciate you guys for having me, man. Shout out to the Combat Lounge, bro. You know what I'm saying? We'll definitely link back up. You know, Tony K, you know, Phil would make sure tap back in. Maybe do a post-fight, you know, recap, man. I got a lot of good things coming my way, man. So, you know, I'm going to continue, like, you know what I'm saying, just working and being in the gym, man. That's the main thing. Outside everything else. But yeah,
when
man.
When the merch comes out, I need the Dreamland shirt. I need to be repping Dreamland.
Oh, yo, I got you.
Yeah,
For sure.
right on.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremiah Dreamland Milton, future world champion.
Yes, sir.
Next Saturday, Nick Jones. He's gonna go to Dreamland, and that's what it is.
That's what it is, man. Check me out at Dreamland_Milton on IG, man. Stay tuned.
Right on. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you for watching. For everybody here, my name's Phil. This is the Combat Lounge, and we are out.
Wilder now fires back. Oh, there's Fury with the right hand. Wilder's hurt. Wilder's hurt. He wobbled. He almost fell over into the ropes. He is close to going out.
He got him out! Oh shit!